Well, first of all, it's great to be 1-0 today. To get the first win. I was first of all, I want to thank all our fans that were here today. The atmosphere. We started this thing out running through the A was incredible. Walking through, touching the state of Arkansas, touching the stone as we all ran through there. There was a lot of energy, and you felt it. And I definitely want to say thank you for that. The stadium was outstanding. Definitely lived up to again everything that we thought walking in here. We're just excited about the opportunity to start this thing out 1-0. Can't build a house without a foundation, and we needed a starting point, and that's kind of what I've shared and kind of what I've talked about from the get-go is we had to find a starting point and something that we could use as a base moving forward. We've been practicing against each other for a long time, and it gets old and redundant. But today was our opportunity to come out and to go against another opponent. I want to give Eastern Illinois credit. They definitely very well coached. Coach Dameron does a great job. Extremely well coached football team. Got after us without a doubt. Played well. But hats off to those guys, and they'll have a successful year moving forward. But excited about the Razorbacks that were on that field today. They put a lot of hard work and a lot of sweat in to get to begin telling their story. And we've got a long way to go, but we had to start somewhere. We had a lot of recruits on campus, which I was extremely excited about. They would see this environment and see this facility was incredible. I thought offensively, it was extremely slow start. We could not get into a rhythm. I thought our pace of play was very slow. We just couldn't get things kind of going for whatever reason. To me it was a tale of two quarters. The defense definitely set the tone and helped us get this thing kicked off and get it going. But we had a lot of big plays. I think we had 6 plays of 15 yards or more in that second quarter. But the first quarter was a slow start, and obviously it was good to see us pick it up. We've got to be able to run the football better. I thought that was an area that we were wanting to hang our hat on, and the inability of running the football was definitely not what we stand for. It's not what this is about. It's not how we're going to plan on building this program, but it gave us a start. So we'll be able to go back in and reevaluate exactly what we've got to do to get better. Mentioned a little bit about defense. I do want to talk about those guys. A great start. Set the tone early in that first half with I think we had 4 turnovers in the first half. Dre Greenlaw had 10 tackles in the first quarter. He was all over the place. And I might have 4 turnovers in the first quarter, I believe. Whatever it was, but being able to create the turnovers that we had to have is something we talk about. It's takeaways, no giveaways. And from an offensive standpoint, we didn't turn the ball over, and that's a plus, and we're going to build on that. That's definitely a huge asset to us if we can hang on to that football and continue to take it away on defense. Played a lot of guys. Played 5 true freshmen. Had 6 guys get their first start tonight. So again, a lot of things were in play tonight, and a lot of uncertainty, but it was good to see. I thought special teams. We've got to become very disappointed in our punt game. Extremely disappointed in that. That's an area we've got to hit head on. We've got to figure out what's up. And Connor Limpert was very, very much a positive for us, going 3 for 3, being able to get us kicked off. Start the first points of our season. And so I was proud of Connor. Our message moving forward to this football team as we were in there is we came over here to do a job, and that job was to win a football game. But the season has to start tomorrow. That has to be our mentality. And I'm excited about where this football team is, and excited about the opportunity that we get to get back in here tomorrow and correct some mistakes and get better. So with that, I'll open up for questions.
Yeah, Chad, how's Greenlaw? Do you have an update on his injury, and how do you think Bumper played going in for him? And then what do you think? How do you think you guys create all those turnovers?
Well, I think we always talk about having a toughness and a relentless pursuit to the ball mentality. And if you do that, and you're swarming the ball, and you're being relentless about getting to the ball, you got an opportunity to create some turnovers. And she's not the first guy that gets there that creates a turnover. It's the second and the third guy. So I feel like that's part of the way we practice. That's what we talk about, the toughness that Chief instills. I thought Bumper Poole played exceptionally well for a true freshman to be put on that main stage as he was tonight. He's really came on over about the last 3 weeks of camp. So we'll continue to see him and keep him progressing. Dre, I have not got any updates on Dre, so we'll reevaluate that when we get back in there. So,
Coach, I just wondered what your thoughts on Ty Story. Seems like he came in and sparked you in the second quarter, and where do you think you are at right now with quarterback?
Yeah, first I want to talk about Cole. Cole was our starter and he was our finisher, and Cole went 6 for 8. But the name of the game is putting the ball in the end zone, and that's really the key. This whole thing comes in play. How can I get the ball in the end zone? And we were assigned, or we had planned out that we were going to play Ty the 4 series. That was scripted from the get-go all week long. That was where Ty was going in. And at that time, we were 3-0 or whatever it was. And Ty saw an opportunity to step up and complete a big pass down the middle to Jordan Jones. And I think that sparked it. And that was the spark that we needed. And so, moving forward, we'll reevaluate things tomorrow in the film room. I was glad to see Cole get back in there and lead the team down and score. So that was good to see. But Ty provided the spark that we had to have, and that was good to see.
Coach, did you think the running game issues were more centered around the offensive line?
I don't know. It's really hard to say at this point. Going back in there and seeing, obviously you got to give them credit, Eastern Illinois some credit. I know they were definitely bringing some pressure and dropping some safeties down in the box, but I was expecting a little bit more out of the run game. So I don't know. I'm not quick to make an assessment on that until I go back in and watch the film. But I think there's some areas that we have to get better in, and everything. We got to run harder, we got to block better, we got to hold our blocks better. We might have had some reads at the quarterback position that we should have pulled a read when we gave a read. So those are things we'll just go back in and reevaluate.
Hey, Chad, Jordan Jones had a pretty good game out there today. Can you talk about what he did, and did you expect that out of him?
Well, it was great to see. He was that third down catch was a big spark for us. So Jordan's a young man that's had a consistent camp. I've talked about him through camp, and it was great to see him get some positive things happen to him, as LaMichael Petway did as well. I mean, we almost had 2 receivers with 100 yards. So we'll see. We got to keep getting better. We're a long way away now. We're a long way away, and offensively we got some areas where we got to continue to build on. I mean, we've got to be able to hang our hat on running the football.
Coach, did you take a moment to look around, to enjoy it? What are your thoughts on your debut at Arkansas?
I did. I actually did. And I usually don't do that, but I did. And it was really kind of surreal. It was to see the many people that have sacrificed for this university and this program, and for many, many years, the people that have played here for, I always talk about Razorbacks past and present and the future. The people that have sacrificed financially to get this building built, this end zone, north end zone complex built, and the renovations all over this stadium, and to want to be great and to want to be first class, and the step that they've taken to get to this point. And I did. I was actually with Chandler. Chandler and I were on the middle of the field, and I just put my arm around him. I said, "Hey, man, look at this. Can you believe this?" And, I usually don't do that, but it was just something that hit me, and I couldn't help but to think of all the people that have stood on that field, and the people that have sweated, and they've cried, and they've bled, and they've laughed, and they've won, they've lost, and but they were all Razorbacks, and that was special. That was special, and so it was. We're a work in progress, but we're going to get there, and it's going to be because of that mindset of there's been many people before us that have sacrificed, and we're going to get this thing right, and it was a great way to start with being 1-0.
Is C.J. O'Grady okay? And then the other one on the punt return play where you had 2 number 1s out there, what caused that?
Yeah, that's you plan for everything, but that was the one thing I guess we didn't plan for. We had normally our corner comes off and corner stayed on, and So that was some things we got to get cleared up right there. But you know, Jared Cornelius is our main punt returner, and Chevin just stayed out there. And really, you know, we should have caught that. Should have called timeout. Again, that's a lot of the firsts that you work through. C.J. O'Grady was suspended for violation of team rules, and so that's where he was.
Chad, in the second quarter, you said their safeties were coming up. Is that something you started taking advantage of, the deeper route? How did that develop that the deeper routes got open, I guess?
Well, they were loading the box, and I'm sure y'all saw that. They were loading the box down and really kind of reading and dropping those safeties heavy into the box. And we felt like, you know, I want to run the football, but at the same sense, I also know that, look, when the numbers present themselves, you got to take your shots over the top. And so at that point, I instructed Joe. I said, look, let's if they're going to drop these safeties down and they're going to load the box like that, let's just don't keep beating our head against the wall. Let's try to take some shots on some double moves or try to get a couple big plays over the top, and that's what we did, and that's how that unfolded.
You decided to put Dalton Hyde in there as the third guy. What went into that decision?
Yeah, Dalton was, we had a package for Dalton down in the red zone anyways. He is our zone read guy, and we wanted to get him in there and kind of get some work in, see if we couldn't hit some of the zone reads and just see if we couldn't get him loose out on the edge. That was all by design.
With the quarterbacks, the decision to start Ty Storey after halftime. I know you scripted the first half and stuff, but what was that decision to keep him out there?
Well, you know, I really, the biggest decision of that was, you know, he had just led this team to some big plays and some points, putting points on the board and a good halftime lead. And so I thought he had the momentum. I thought he deserved it. You know, really, we had designed to where Ty was going to go in, and seeing how he led his team was how we were going to readjust things. And it was kind of that way all the way through. But I wanted to come back to Cole and let Cole know, hey man, we're going to come back to you now. We just didn't know at what time. But no, there was no questions asked when we walked in there. It was ties all the way starting second half.
So is that a tough call to decide who to start a quarterback next week, or is it Ty, or what do you do?
Yeah, you know what? We're going to go back and reevaluate this and see. I do know this, that we've got to have both these guys have to be ready to play. They have to. It's a long season, and they've got to get adequate reps. But at the same sense, you've got to get the ball in the end zone. And Cole knows that. Cole's a fierce competitor, and he was over there cheering Ty on the sidelines, and that says a whole lot about Cole. He was 6 for 8 throwing the football. Again, we want to be able to get that ball in the end zone, and so we'll reevaluate things and readjust and see how it goes.
Thoughts on the offensive line play, and it looked like you guys moved Ty Clary in there at left guard.
We did. We felt like, especially the second half, we wanted to try to just kind of see if we couldn't change some things up. Again, it's hard to say. I don't know sack-wise. I don't know if we gave up a sack. Maybe been one sack that we gave up. I'd have to go back and how many? We gave up 1 sack, and so from that standpoint, they protected the quarterback and kept him clean for the most part. Again, we just got to get our run game cleaned up. That's the biggest thing. And, going against our defense as much as we do running the football, we'll get better. That's I can assure you that.
Coach, the turnover differential. Have y'all been in camp, and did you think y'all forced those turnovers with your hitting?
I do. I absolutely do. I think maybe not so much the hitting as it is the relentless pursuit to the ball. I think there was many times, out there on the sidelines watching our defense, there was a lot of white jerseys that got to the football, especially early on in the game. And that when you can have that relentless pursuit of guys flying around with that energy, and get one guy to get him stood up and the other guys to get in there, that says a lot. I think this is the most turnovers that have been created here since 2014. Is that right? And so, I know it's probably one of the most that I've had. But it says a lot about who we are. I mean, it's all, we call it, Tanoga Tuesday. It's takeaway, no giveaway Tuesday. And we show clips of every NFL team that turns a ball over. And defense is creating turnovers. And so it's a mindset. It's a way we talk it, we practice it. It's all about the ball mentality.
Hey, Coach, what did you think about the team's mental toughness and ability to finish the game? I know that was something you spoke on previous interviews.
I thought we finished the game well. I do. It was good to see Cole leading them down and scoring. I thought that defensively, being able to play as many guys as we played, I thought we finished well. It's in a game like that, you're trying to get guys in to get reps, and you're trying to get some of the guys out to stay healthy and try to create a little bit of depth. And when you're able to do that, you got a lot of young guys getting in there, getting some playing time, and so I was pleased with it. We got a lot of stuff we got to clean up, and it'll be interesting to get back in there and watch the film and move forward. But I'm excited about where this team is and knowing that we're 1-0 and being able to move forward. We got a tough Colorado State team that'll be hungry. They're 0-2. They'll be hungry, and so it'll be an opportunity for us to have our first road trip. So we got a lot of work ahead of us.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.